Hi, everyone. It is me, Sailor Moon. And it's me, Saturn, Sailor Ringworld here. And today we're going to talk about, the good of the Deke Glee Sailor Moon. And also the Pioneer Glee Sailor Moon and the Cloverway Glee Sailor Moon. First off, I believe that a lot of folks mistaken, Cloverway for Pioneer. Cloverway may have been the business that, that got the rights to work with Sailor Moon, for the southern land in New Zealand. But it was Pioneer that got the rights to work with Sailor Moon in the 4-1 Kingdom and the 4-1 Reichs in the settled land from between 99 YL till 2003 YL though. Now, the first one we talk about is The first one we talk about is Deke Sailor Moon. Because Deke had gotten the right to work with Sailor Moon and had ownership over their Sailor Moon from between 94 YL till now. But the deal at the time to work with Sailor Moon was only 9 between 95 YL, 9 between 94 YL to 9 between 98 YL. And Deke Sailor Moon was first owned by Toei, would go and be owned by Disney, then Deke and Cookie Jar, and then DMX, and then Wild Brian. Now, there's always been a belief in the Sailor Moon followership that there was nothing good about the Deke Sailor Moon. Well, that's not true. The first thing is the songs. Yeah, I know a lot of folks don't bring up the songs, but the songs that Deke had for Sailor Moon was good. Alright, it wasn't the songs that Toei put in it, or whatever, wasn't the songs. But hey, they were still good songs, right? Another thing that some folks like to say wasn't good about Deke Sailor Moon was the Sailor Says, which a lot of folks scathed and behaved as if the things they talked about you couldn't learn nothing from. Well, keep in mind that Sailor Moon wasn't the only show that had to follow that oversight. Hasbro had to do it. Sunbow had to do it when they were working with G.I. Joes and Jim in the behalf of Hasbro in business at the time. So, yeah. And even Sonic had to do it too when Deke had their deal with that. But they behaved as if there's nothing you could learn from it. Yeah, I know you most likely could learn some things from it. Alright? Now, a lot of other things they like to bring up as bad is they like to talk about the show playing or the word playing and say that the folks that were speaking for them didn't speak the right way, or I don't know. But at the end of the day, I think that Settlelander English and 4-1 Rikers English are mostly the same, And I don't know what these folks wanted them the tone to be spoken like, but I thought they did very well with the show playing. Another thing they say wasn't good is the sagas and the tales. Well, believe it or not, the tales that were going on, at least for the first following and the 2-diff following, Deke didn't shift the sagas. I mean, they may have shifted the name of the Dark Kingdom. They may have shifted the name of the Black Moonkin, or the Doom Tree Outsiders. But at the end of the day, they may have shifted those names, but the sagas and the tales were the same. Queen Beryl was still looking for might, and while she was looking for might, she was also looking for the folklore Silver Hearse, which would have more might than the woman-like might that they were getting. And the Doom Tree Outsiders were really just seeking to keep their tree alive and not fully understanding love or forgiveness at the time. And the Black Moonkin was going after Rini because they believed Rini had the folklore silver hearse from the patent upcoming that they needed, so they could then, end the world, the earth of the past. But really was death. It was really Doom Ghost that was really the one that was really doing all that shit. But it was just playing the Black Moonkin. So really, at the end of the day, the Sagas and the Tales, they didn't shift that, right? Oh yeah, you're right, Sailor Moon. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of folks say there's a lot of things about Deke Sailor Moon that you cannot like, or it's just not watchable. They also say that, names being shifted, or near names being shifted, strike names being shifted, borrow names being shifted out for other borrow names. Well, I don't think that was bad at all. But then they also make a big, then they say that the things that were skimmed or cut or cleaned out, that you can't, that it was nothing good from it because some of the fighting was skimmed out, or some of the blood was skimmed out, or whatever they're going to say, or say that it wasn't good on the grounds that some of the sagas of the first following were skipped over, and one of the two diff following was skipped over too. Now, at the end of the day, I don't think that makes Deke Sailor Moon bad at all. It might be the held belief by some in the Sailor Moon followership. Hold on, I gotta take a shit. And they also think that you cannot like it, under the grounds of the whole Milkite Zoisite, thing, where Zoisite became a woman in a Deke world, in a Deke one. Now, those are things that they say that why it's not good, or you cannot like it, or they do not like it. But I just think some of that's mostly whatever it is. Well, yeah, you're right, Sailor Saturn. You're right, Sailor Ringworld. At the end of the day, they have the right to their belief, their take, their thought. If they don't like it, they don't like it. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I like it, and I think it's good. And yes, that was the Sailor Moon that many folks in 4-1 Reichs in the settled land grew up on, even if they hate it now and can't stand it now. But back then, that was the one they grew up on. And that's the one, when I think of Sailor Moon, that's the first one I think of. I'm sorry, but that's the one that I think of. So anyway, what is your take on a whole Deke Sailor Moon? Do you like it? Do you hate it? What do you think about it? I, Sailor Moon Serena, and I, Sailor Saturn, Sailor Ringworld Ataru, and we'll see you later. Goodbye. Farewell.